The allure of Kentucky's most haunted home. Nestled amidst the rolling hills and quiet countryside of Kentucky lies a house that defies the ordinary, a place where the past refuses to remain buried and the unseen walks among the living. Known as the most haunted home in the Bluegrass State, this residence has captured the imagination of locals and paranormal enthusiasts alike, drawing them into its eerie embrace with promises of spectral encounters and unexplained phenomena. Beneath its weathered facade and creaking floorboards lies a labyrinth of secrets, where whispers of tragedy, betrayal, and untimely death echo through the ages. This is no mere relic of history, it is a living testament to the enduring power of memory and the thin veil that separates the mundane from the supernatural. The fascination with haunted homes is deeply rooted in the human psyche, tapping into primal fears of isolation, darkness, and the unknown. Homes, by their very nature, are sanctuaries, places of safety, warmth, and belonging. Yet, when these spaces become corrupted by malevolent forces or residual energy, they transform into something far more sinister. What was once a refuge becomes a prison, not just for those who dwell within its walls but for the spirits that linger long after their mortal lives have ended. Kentucky's most haunted home exemplifies this duality, embodying both the comfort of hearth and home and the chilling specter of the otherworldly. What sets this particular house apart from others is not merely its reputation for paranormal activity, it is the sheer density and variety of haunting phenomena reported within its confines. From ghostly apparitions drifting through empty hallways to disembodied voices whispering from shadowy corners, each room seems to harbor its own unique mystery. Visitors recount inexplicable cold spots that defy the warmth of summer nights, doors that slammed shut without cause, and the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures darting across doorways or felt an icy hand brush against their skin, only to turn and find no one there. These encounters are not isolated incidents but part of a larger tapestry of terror woven into the very fabric of the home's history. This article aims to delve deep into the chilling stories and spectral mysteries surrounding Kentucky's most haunted home. Through meticulous research, personal accounts, and expert insights, we will piece together the tales that have earned this residence its sinister reputation. From its origins as a humble family dwelling to its transformation into a hotspot for ghostly encounters, every twist and turn reveals new layers of intrigue. By the end of this exploration, readers will gain not only a comprehensive understanding of the home's haunted legacy, but also an appreciation for the enduring power of folklore and the human need to confront the unknown. So dim the lights, stoke the fire, and prepare to journey into a realm where reality and legend collide, a house where the echoes of the past refuse to fade, echoes of tragedy, the dark history of Kentucky's most haunted home. To truly understand the spectral essence of Kentucky's most haunted home, one must first unravel the tangled threads of its history, a chronicle steeped in violence, loss, and unresolved sorrow that has left an indelible mark on its walls. This residence, now infamous for its paranormal activity, began as a modest farmhouse nestled in the heart of rural Kentucky during the mid-19th century. Built by the Harper family, early settlers who sought solace in the tranquility of the countryside, the house initially stood as a symbol of hope and prosperity. Its sturdy wooden beams and whitewashed exterior reflected the aspirations of a family determined to carve out a life amid the rugged beauty of the Bluegrass State. Yet beneath its humble beginnings lay a darker narrative, one shaped by personal tragedies, societal upheavals, and the lingering scars of a nation torn apart by conflict. One of the earliest recorded tragedies occurred in 1863, during the height of the Civil War. The Harper family found themselves caught in the crossfire of a brutal guerrilla raid led by Confederate sympathizers. According to local lore, Union soldiers seeking refuge in the home were ambushed by bushwhackers, resulting in a violent skirmish that left several men dead on the property. Among the casualties was Thomas Harper, the patriarch of the family, who was mistakenly identified as a collaborator due to his refusal to take sides in the conflict. His body was discovered slumped against the front door, a bayonet wound piercing his chest. Witnesses claimed to hear his anguished cries echoing through the night, even as his wife and children buried him beneath the ancient oak tree that still stands sentinel in the yard. Decades later, residents of the home report seeing a shadowy figure pacing the porch, his silhouette illuminated by the flickering glow of candlelight despite the absence of any visible source. The house's association with death only deepened in the late 19th century, when a devastating fire claimed the lives of 2 young children living under its roof. The blaze, believed to have been sparked by a faulty lantern, spread rapidly through the dry wooden structure, trapping the siblings in their upstairs bedroom. Their mother, overcome with grief, is said to have taken her own life shortly thereafter, unable to bear the weight of her loss. Locals whispered that her spirit remained tethered to the house, forever searching for her children in the aftermath of the tragedy. Visitors recount hearing faint sobbing emanating from the upper floors, accompanied by the sound of small footsteps pattering across the ceiling. Others describe seeing the translucent forms of 2 children playing in the yard, their laughter carrying on the wind before vanishing into thin air. Adding to the home's grim legacy is the story of Emily Caldwell, a reclusive woman who purchased the property in the early 20th century. Known for her volatile temper and eccentric behavior, Emily became embroiled in a bitter feud with neighboring farmers over land boundaries. The conflict escalated into violence, culminating in a tragic confrontation that left Emily dead and her family scattered. Her abandoned belongings, including a collection of antique dolls, were left behind in the attic, a space now regarded as one of the most active areas of paranormal activity in the house. Paranormal investigators conducting EVP sessions have captured chilling audio recordings of a woman's voice issuing cryptic warnings or pleading for help. Others report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread while exploring the attic, as if Emily's ghost continues to patrol her forgotten domain. Perhaps the most pervasive legend tied to the home involves a mysterious figure known only as the Man in Black. Described as a tall, imposing presence clad in outdated clothing, this spectral entity is said to haunt the basement and lower levels of the house. Locals believe he was a former owner who met an untimely demise after discovering secret passageways hidden beneath the foundation. These tunnels, allegedly used during Prohibition to smuggle alcohol, are rumored to have collapsed, burying him alive. Visitors to the home report seeing his shadowy form lurking in doorways or descending the staircase, only to vanish when approached. Others describe feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on them as they venture into the basement, as though the spirit of the man refuses to relinquish his hold on the property. The cumulative weight of these tragedies has imbued the house with an aura of malevolence, where the boundary between the living and the dead feels perilously thin. Each incident adds another layer to its haunted reputation, creating a tapestry of spectral lore that continues to captivate and terrify. Whether viewed as a repository of residual energy or a gateway to the supernatural, Kentucky's most haunted home serves as a chilling reminder of the human cost behind progress and the enduring power of memory. For those brave enough to tread its creaking floorboards, the house offers not just a glimpse into the past but a visceral encounter with forces that defy rational explanation. Here, history and horror converge, leaving all who dare to explore its shadowy corridors questioning the nature of reality and the restless spirits that refuse to let go. Whispers in the walls, personal accounts from Kentucky's most haunted home. The spectral reputation of Kentucky's most haunted home is not merely a product of historical conjecture or folklore. It is built upon the first-hand experiences of countless individuals who have dared to step inside its shadowy embrace. These personal accounts, ranging from fleeting moments of unease to full-blown encounters with the supernatural, paint a vivid picture of a residence teeming with otherworldly activity. Each story adds another thread to the tapestry of its haunting legacy, reinforcing its status as one of the most enigmatic and terrifying locations in the state. One of the most frequently reported phenomena involves the ghostly apparition of a woman in white, whose mournful figure has become synonymous with the home's spectral reputation. Sarah Thompson, a local historian who visited the house during a research trip, recounts her chilling encounter on a stormy autumn evening. "I was alone in the parlor, examining some old photographs," she recalls. "Suddenly, I felt a cold draft sweep through the room, though all the windows were closed. When I turned around, I saw her standing in the doorway, a pale figure in a tattered gown, her face obscured by shadows. She didn't move or speak, but her presence filled the entire room. It was as if the air itself had grown heavier." Moments later, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the faint scent of lavender, a detail attributed to her love of gardening in life. Other visitors have described similar sightings, often accompanied by feelings of profound sadness or the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. Equally unsettling are the reports of disembodied voices and whispers that seem to emanate from the walls themselves. Emily Carter, a paranormal investigator who spent several nights documenting activity within the home, shares an experience that left her team shaken to their core. "We were setting up our equipment in the dining room when we started hearing faint murmurs," she explains. "At first, we thought it was just the wind, but then the voices grew louder, distinct phrases like 'get out' and 'leave me be.' None of us were speaking, and there was no one else in the house at the time." Capturing the phenomenon on audio, her team later analyzed the recording and identified multiple voices overlapping, some speaking in archaic dialects. "It was like the house was trying to communicate with us," Emily adds. Others have reported hearing laughter or sobbing carried on the breeze, as though the spirits of those who perished within its walls relive their final moments in endless loops of despair. Mechanical failures and equipment malfunctions add another layer of eeriness to the home's haunted reputation. Several visitors have described sudden breakdowns that defy explanation, only to have their devices function perfectly once removed from the property. James Caldwell, a photographer hired to document the house for a local magazine, recounts an experience that left him questioning the limits of his craft. "I was taking photos of the staircase when my camera just stopped working," he says. "No battery issues, no error messages, it was completely dead. I switched to my phone, and the same thing happened. As soon as I stepped outside, everything came back online." Similar accounts abound, with witnesses describing flickering lights, malfunctioning electronics, and even watches stopping at specific times while inside the house. Some attribute these occurrences to electromagnetic interference, while others believe they are evidence of the spirits manipulating the environment to assert their presence. For those brave enough to investigate further, the home's history of violence and tragedy manifests in even more sinister ways. One particularly unnerving clip features a child's voice whispering, "Don't leave me here," followed by the sound of muffled crying. Others have photographed orbs of light hovering above the staircase or shadowy figures darting between rooms, their forms too defined to dismiss as tricks of the camera. "It's like you can feel the weight of their unfinished business," says Marcus Langley, a historian specializing in haunted locations. "Every corner of this house holds a story, and those stories don't stay silent." Among the most disturbing phenomena are the physical interactions reported by visitors. Many describe feeling an icy hand brush against their skin or being pushed or shoved by unseen forces. Laura Bennett, a tourist exploring the home with friends, recalls an incident that sent her group fleeing in terror. "We were standing in the kitchen when I felt something grab my wrist," she says. "It wasn't a gentle touch, it was forceful, like someone was trying to pull me away. When I turned around, there was no one there. Then we heard footsteps coming from upstairs, even though we knew the house was empty." Others report objects moving on their own, such as chairs scraping across the floor or books falling from shelves without explanation. These encounters blur the line between psychological perception and tangible reality, leaving witnesses grappling with questions they cannot answer. Together, these personal accounts underscore the home's ability to evoke both fear and fascination. Each story adds another dimension to its spectral allure, challenging our understanding of the supernatural, and reminding us that not all mysteries can be solved. Whether driven by curiosity, skepticism, or the hope of capturing evidence of the unseen, those who dare to enter its shadowy halls find themselves confronted with forces that challenge their perception of reality. For some, the experience is transformative, a brush with the unknown that leaves an indelible mark on their psyche. For others, it is a haunting reminder that the echoes of the past continue to resonate long after the living have moved on. Expert insights into Kentucky's most haunted home. To truly grasp the spectral essence of Kentucky's most haunted home, one must turn to the expertise of those who dedicate their lives to unraveling the mysteries of the paranormal. Paranormal investigators, historians, and cultural anthropologists bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table, offering invaluable perspectives that illuminate the house's haunting phenomena and its broader implications. Their insights not only validate the experiences of countless witnesses but also deepen our understanding of how historical events, environmental factors, and collective belief systems converge to create a locus of supernatural activity. One prominent figure in the field of paranormal investigation is Dr. Evelyn Harper, a psychologist and researcher who specializes in the intersection of human perception and unexplained phenomena. Having led numerous expeditions to Kentucky's most haunted home, Dr. Harper emphasizes the role of psychology in shaping our interpretation of ghostly encounters. The human brain is wired to seek patterns and explanations, especially in unfamiliar or stressful environments, she explains. In a setting like this house, where the atmosphere is inherently disorienting, the mind fills gaps in sensory input with imagined stimuli, often manifesting as ghostly apparitions or disembodied voices. However, the consistency of reports from multiple witnesses suggests that something more profound may be at play. Dr. Harper's team has conducted extensive EVP sessions within the home, capturing audio clips of voices speaking in archaic dialects or issuing cryptic warnings. These findings lend credence to the idea that residual energy from past tragedies may imprint itself on the environment, creating what researchers term place memory. Adding to this perspective is historian Marcus Langley, whose work focuses on the socio-cultural history of rural Kentucky. Langley argues that the home's haunting reputation is deeply intertwined with its violent past, which includes Civil War skirmishes, fatal disputes, and untimely deaths. History doesn't just disappear, it leaves traces, he asserts. Every tragedy that occurred within these walls contributes to its spectral legacy. The collective trauma of these events creates a kind of psychic residue that lingers in the landscape. Langley points to the attic as a prime example. Once the site of a devastating fire that claimed the lives of 2 children, the space is now a focal point for paranormal activity. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures playing in the rafters and hearing faint laughter or sobbing carried on the wind. These spirits aren't just random entities, they're echoes of the people who lived and died here, trapped in a cycle of repetition, he explains. Langley's research underscores the importance of understanding the home's history as a key to unlocking its haunting phenomena. Cultural anthropologist Dr. Rachel Kim provides additional context by examining the role of folklore and communal storytelling in perpetuating the home's haunted reputation. Stories about ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and shadowy figures serve a dual purpose, she says. They entertain, yes, but they also reinforce societal norms and values. By recounting tales of tragedy and injustice, communities process their fears and anxieties in a controlled setting. Dr. Kim highlights the legend of the woman in white as a case in point. Variations of her story exist across cultures, yet the specific details attached to this home, the scent of lavender, the flickering candlelight, reflect local traditions and beliefs. These narratives are not static, they evolve over time, incorporating new elements while retaining their core themes. That's why the home remains such a potent symbol of the supernatural. It's a living, breathing mythos. Paranormal investigator and author James Caldwell brings a hands-on approach to the study of Kentucky's haunted home. With decades of experience documenting unexplained phenomena, Caldwell has developed a keen eye for distinguishing genuine encounters from hoaxes or misinterpretations. Not every strange occurrence is paranormal, he cautions. Environmental factors like electromagnetic fields, infrasound, and geological anomalies can all contribute to feelings of unease or hallucinations. But when you combine those elements with consistent eyewitness accounts and verifiable evidence, you start to build a compelling case. Caldwell's team has used thermal imaging cameras to detect anomalous heat signatures moving through the walls, as well as EMF detectors to measure fluctuations in electromagnetic energy. These tools have yielded intriguing results, suggesting that the home's spectral activity may be influenced by natural forces as much as supernatural ones. Together, these experts paint a multifaceted picture of Kentucky's most haunted home, a place where history, psychology, and culture intersect to create an enduring source of fascination and fear. Their insights remind us that the home's haunting phenomena cannot be reduced to a single explanation. Rather, they are the product of complex interactions between the physical and metaphysical realms. For those who dare to explore its shadowy corridors and creaking staircases, the home offers not just a glimpse into the unknown but a deeper understanding of the human condition. Whether viewed as a repository of residual energy, a conduit for ancestral spirits, or a testament to the power of storytelling, Kentucky's most haunted home continues to captivate and terrify, challenging us to confront the limits of our knowledge and the enduring mysteries of the unseen world. Unraveling the mysteries of Kentucky's most haunted home beyond the ghostly apparitions and disembodied voices that haunt Kentucky's most haunted home lies another layer of intrigue, one rooted in the natural world. The house's surroundings, with its dense forests, rugged terrain, and unique geological features, play a pivotal role in amplifying its eerie atmosphere and contributing to the phenomena reported by visitors. Environmental factors such as electromagnetic fields, infrasound, and geological anomalies create conditions that blur the line between the mundane and the supernatural, leaving even the most skeptical travelers questioning what they've experienced. One of the most significant contributors to the home's haunting reputation is its proximity to areas of heightened electromagnetic activity. Electromagnetic fields, EMFs, invisible forces generated by the Earth's magnetic properties or man-made sources, have long been associated with paranormal phenomena. Researchers studying Kentucky's most haunted home have identified several hotspots where levels spike dramatically, particularly near the basement and attic. These fluctuations can disrupt the human nervous system, causing sensations of unease, dizziness, or even hallucinations. Visitors often report feeling a sudden pressure in their chests or hearing faint buzzing sounds, symptoms commonly linked to exposure to high EMF levels. "It's like the air gets heavier," says paranormal investigator James Caldwell. "You feel it in your bones, a kind of oppressive energy that makes you want to leave." While skeptics argue that these sensations can be explained scientifically, others believe they are evidence of the home's supernatural essence, suggesting that the spirits themselves manipulate the environment to communicate their presence. Infrasound, or low-frequency sound waves below the threshold of human hearing, further compounds the home's unsettling ambience. Produced by natural phenomena such as wind rushing through narrow gaps in the terrain or water flowing beneath the surface, infrasound has been shown to induce feelings of fear, anxiety, and even the perception of ghostly presences. Studies conducted within the home have detected consistent infrasound emissions, particularly in areas surrounded by dense forests or rocky outcrops. "When you're exposed to infrasound for prolonged periods, it messes with your brain," explains Dr. Evelyn Harper. "It triggers the fight or flight response, making you hyper-aware of your surroundings. That's why so many people report seeing shadowy figures or hearing disembodied voices. They're reacting to stimuli their conscious minds can't perceive." This interplay between the natural and the psychological creates an environment ripe for paranormal interpretation, where the rustle of leaves or the creak of branches becomes something far more sinister. Geological anomalies also contribute to the home's haunted reputation, adding another dimension to its spectral allure. The region is riddled with limestone caves and underground waterways, formations that have long been associated with supernatural legends. Limestone is highly porous, allowing water to carve intricate networks of tunnels and caverns beneath the surface. These subterranean spaces are believed to amplify acoustic vibrations, creating eerie echoes that reverberate through the landscape. Some researchers theorize that the home's alignment with these geological features enhances its potential for paranormal activity, acting as a conduit for residual energy or otherworldly forces. "There's something about limestone that seems to attract strange occurrences," says historian Marcus Langley. "Whether it's the way it conducts sound or traps energy, it creates an environment where the boundaries between worlds feel thinner." Visitors to the home often describe hearing faint whispers or footsteps emanating from the walls, sounds that seem to originate from nowhere and everywhere at once. These auditory phenomena, coupled with the home's isolation and dim lighting, foster a sense of vulnerability that heightens the perception of danger. The flora and fauna of the surrounding wilderness further enhance the home's haunting atmosphere. Towering oak and maple trees, their gnarled branches draped in Spanish moss, cast long shadows that dance across the weathered siding under the light of the moon. At night, the forest comes alive with the calls of nocturnal creatures, owls hooting in the distance, coyotes howling at the moon, and insects chirping in rhythmic patterns. To the untrained ear, these natural sounds blend seamlessly with the ambient noise, creating an auditory tapestry that is both beautiful and unnerving. Nature has a way of messing with your mind, observes Caldwell. A snapping twig can sound like footsteps, and the flutter of wings can feel like something brushing against your skin. When you're already on edge, it's easy to mistake the ordinary for the extraordinary. The dense canopy overhead blocks out starlight, plunging the home into near-total darkness and forcing visitors to rely solely on their flashlights. This limited visibility exacerbates feelings of isolation, making every movement in the periphery seem suspicious and every sound ominous. Weather patterns in the region add yet another layer of complexity to the home's haunting phenomena. Kentucky's humid climate and frequent storms create ideal conditions for atmospheric disturbances, including fog banks that roll in unexpectedly and cling to the ground like spectral mist. On certain nights, the home becomes enveloped in a thick haze that obscures visibility and muffles sound, creating an almost dreamlike state. Visitors navigating the fog report seeing fleeting shapes darting across doorways or glowing orbs hovering above the staircase, only to vanish moments later. Others describe the sensation of being followed by unseen eyes, as if the fog itself harbors malevolent entities. Fog changes everything, notes Dr. Rachel Kim. It distorts your perception, making distances seem closer or farther than they are. Combine that with the home's history of tragedy, and you've got the perfect recipe for supernatural encounters. Together, these environmental factors weave a tapestry of terror that transcends the sum of its parts. The home's haunting phenomena cannot be attributed solely to ghosts or spirits. Instead, they arise from a delicate interplay between the natural and the psychological, the seen and the unseen. For those brave enough to venture into its shadowy embrace, Kentucky's most haunted home offers not just a glimpse into the supernatural, but a visceral confrontation with the mysteries of the natural world. Here, the boundaries between science and superstition blur into obscurity, leaving all who dare to explore its twists and turns questioning the nature of reality and the forces that shape it. Folklore and legends of Kentucky's most haunted home. The spectral reputation of Kentucky's most haunted home is not merely a product of personal encounters or environmental anomalies. It is deeply embedded in the rich tapestry of local folklore and legends that have been passed down through generations. These tales, steeped in the oral traditions of rural Kentucky, serve as both cautionary stories and cultural touchstones, reflecting the fears, values, and collective memories of the communities that surround the home. Each legend adds another layer to its haunting mystique, transforming it from a simple residence into a living, breathing mythos that continues to captivate and terrify. One of the most enduring legends tied to the home revolves around the Lady in White, a spectral figure whose origins are as elusive as her appearance. According to local lore, the Lady in White is the ghost of Emily Caldwell, the reclusive former owner whose tragic death left an indelible mark on the property. Witnesses describe seeing her standing in the upstairs window, her pale face illuminated by the glow of the moonlight, her long gown billowing in the wind despite the stillness of the night. Those who dare to approach the house report that she disappears without a trace once they get too close, leaving behind only the lingering scent of lavender, a detail attributed to her love of gardening and life. Some versions of the story claim she was betrayed by a lover who fled during the Civil War, while others suggest she was driven mad by the isolation of her rural existence. Regardless of the specifics, the Lady in White has become a symbol of unrequited love and unresolved grief, her restless spirit forever seeking closure. Her legend serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human emotion and the destructive power of unchecked despair. Equally pervasive is the tale of the Children of the Fire, two young siblings said to haunt the attic and upper floors of the home. Described as playful yet mournful, their spectral forms are often spotted darting through doorways or heard giggling softly in the rafters. Locals believe the children perished in a devastating fire that swept through the house in the late 19th century, leaving their mother inconsolable, and ultimately leading to her own tragic demise. Visitors report hearing faint footsteps pattering across the ceiling or seeing translucent figures playing with toys that no longer exist. Some claim to have felt small hands tugging at their clothing or heard whispered pleas for attention, as if the spirits of the children are desperate for companionship. The children of the fire embody the universal fear of losing innocence to tragedy, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the lasting impact of parental grief. Their legend reinforces the age-old belief that the bonds of family transcend even death, binding souls together in eternity. Another cornerstone of the home's folklore is the Curse of the Man in Black, a tale steeped in mystery and vengeance. According to legend, the Man in Black was a former owner who discovered secret passageways hidden beneath the foundation of the house. These tunnels, allegedly used during Prohibition to smuggle alcohol, are rumored to have collapsed, burying him alive. His ghost is said to haunt the basement and lower levels of the home, his imposing figure cloaked in outdated clothing, his presence marked by an oppressive weight that fills the air. Witnesses describe seeing him lurking in doorways or descending the staircase, only to vanish when approached. Others report feeling an icy hand brush against their skin or hearing faint whispers issuing cryptic warnings. The Curse of the Man in Black speaks to universal themes of greed, betrayal, and the consequences of tampering with forbidden knowledge. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition and the price of secrecy, urging listeners to tread carefully in their pursuit of power or wealth. Adding to the home's spectral allure is the legend of the Wailing Woman, a ghostly figure said to roam the grounds in search of her lost family. Described as a heartbroken mother whose children were taken from her during a violent raid, her mournful cries are said to echo through the valleys, growing louder as one approaches the house. Motorists traveling the nearby roads at night report hearing her wails carried on the wind, a haunting melody that sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Some claim to have seen her ghostly figure perched on the railing of the front porch, her translucent form silhouetted against the moonlit sky. The Wailing Woman embodies the timeless fear of separation and loss, a manifestation of the raw, unfiltered pain that accompanies the death of loved ones. Her legend taps into the collective memory of a region scarred by conflict and hardship, reminding listeners of the sacrifices made by those who came before. These legends, whether rooted in historical fact or pure fabrication, reflect the cultural identity of rural Kentucky. They are stories born of necessity, crafted to explain the unexplainable and provide comfort in the face of uncertainty. Folklorist Dr. Rachel Kim emphasizes their dual purpose. Legends like these do more than entertain, they reinforce social cohesion. By sharing these tales, communities process their fears and anxieties in a controlled setting, turning the unknown into something familiar and manageable. The persistence of these stories underscores their importance, not just as entertainment, but as a means of preserving history and fostering a sense of belonging. For those who live near Kentucky's most haunted home, these legends are more than mere ghost stories. They are threads woven into the fabric of everyday life, reminders of the past that continue to shape the present. Through the lens of folklore, Kentucky's most haunted home transcends its physical boundaries, becoming a symbol of the human need to confront the unknown. Its legends invite us to peer into the shadows, to question what lies beyond the veil of reality, and to find meaning in the mysteries that defy explanation. Whether viewed as cautionary tales, historical artifacts, or expressions of collective imagination, these stories remind us that the home's haunting phenomena are not confined to its creaking floorboards. It resides in the hearts and minds of those who dare to listen. Exploring Kentucky's most haunted home. As we bring this chilling exploration of Kentucky's most haunted home to a close, the stories of spectral apparitions, unexplained phenomena, and eerie encounters linger like ghostly whispers, inviting you to step beyond the screen and into the realm of the unknown. This desolate residence, steeped in tragedy and tinged with the supernatural, is more than just a collection of haunting tales. It is a living, breathing enigma waiting to be uncovered. If you've ever felt the pull of the supernatural, the thrill of the unexplained, or the urge to confront the shadows of history, then Kentucky's most haunted home beckons you to answer its call. Imagine yourself stepping across its threshold, where the dim glow of your flashlight illuminates a spectral figure drifting through empty hallways. Picture the sensation of cold air seeping through your skin as disembodied voices echo through the night, or the sudden flicker of your lantern as you pass a sight steeped in tragedy. Or envision standing beneath the pale light of the moon, listening to the mournful wails of the wailing woman as they rise from the depths of the surrounding woods. Kentucky's Most Haunted Home offers not only a chance to witness the supernatural but also an opportunity to confront your own fears and curiosities. Will you feel the icy breath of the lady in white as she vanishes from your sight? Will you hear the unearthly giggles of the children of the fire as they race through the attic? Or will you capture an orb of light hovering above the staircase, its origin defying logical explanation? The possibilities are as endless as they are spine-tingling, and the answers lie waiting for those brave enough to seek them. So, dear reader, I implore you, don't let these stories remain confined to the pages of this article. Take the next step. Plan your visit to Kentucky's Most Haunted Home, armed with courage, curiosity, and perhaps a camera to document the inexplicable. Share your experiences with us, your encounters, your discoveries, your fears, because every journey into the unknown adds a new thread to the tapestry of these spectral legacies. Together, we can keep the stories of this haunted residence alive, ensuring that its mysteries continue to captivate and terrify for generations to come. Are you ready to step into the shadows?